Member for Boothby.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak about an issue very important to my constituents, to local veterans groups and to anyone interested in making sure that South Australians have widespread access to quality hospital services. The South Australian Government is trying, yet again, to shut down the Repatriation General Hospital in my electorate. Let's be clear, this is nothing new. This state government has been trying to shut down the Repat since 2010, when their Sustainable Budget Commission recommended closing the Repat. Back then, the public backlash was so strong that they promised the Repat hospital is here to stay, the Repat hospital will never ever be closed by a Labor government. Then in 2012, they closed the Repat's acute referral unit, which provided emergency triage for 7,000 veterans and patients every year. Now they're just looking for another excuse to close down this iconic hospital. The closure of the Repat hospital will not only disadvantage South Australian veterans, it will also have serious negative and long-term impacts on the health of the broader community, particularly people living in the southern suburbs, and especially my constituents who live in the suburbs surrounding the Repat. There's a real concern that Flinders Medical Centre, which is also in my electorate, will be overwhelmed by the flood of work if the Repat closes. Last year, 25% of all orthopaedic and urological elective surgery performed in South Australia was done at the Repat. Flinders did less than 3%. A senior surgeon has advised that with Flinders already at capacity, it would be unable to cope with the extra burden of ophthalmology, orthopaedic and urology work. Last year, I wrote to the South Australian Health Minister Jack Snelling about the Repat on behalf of my constituents about its closure. The response I received 6 months ago said that it will continue to play a critical role in South Australia's healthcare system. And 6 months later, they're now announcing a proposal for its closure. South Australians know that the Repat continues to be an important part of South Australia's hospital network and a centre of excellence in the area of veterans' health and mental health. They're not going to let state Labor close it without a fight. I encourage all South Australians to support the current Save the Repat campaign. They can sign the petition to Save the Repat at www.savetherepat.com, on Save the Repat Facebook page, or in person in my office or at RSL sub-branches around the state.